Well, Nypan from Norway is keen to join us now. David Austin is the man behind this story. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name and hope you guys are really having fun. We are going to be talking Kusanov, a player that Man City unveiled yesterday late night, and I'm going to be breaking what he's really saying about joining City. By the way, he's one of those players that he has made a debut for his countrymen into the Premier League, Uzbekistan, and he really said lots of things that went ahead to obviously touch my heart. I tell you, they really touched my heart, and I was like, oh my God, someone can be there when he's really dying to get something and gets hit. He has gone ahead, obviously, pass on a message to everyone who really needs to listen to this. Smash like button close to 200 times, and don't forget to subscribe. And remember, we are really having how many subscribers do we have? Let me check here. We are left with 11 subscribers to hit 24,300. So guys, continue to subscribe. 11 subscribers to hit 24,300. Baby steps, one step at a time. When we hit 300, we'll hit 400, 500, and then we'll tie 25,000. And by the time we'll be having 30,000 subscribers, I tell you. And this is going to be our target, and that's why we're obviously trying to bring you morning updates in here for you. We are powered by Muno Gadgets, dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. And if at all you need a used phone and a used laptop from the United Kingdom, call them on the number +256 70 9988 665, as you see it written down there, and you will thank me later. You understand? You will thank me later. So let's go into what we call the story of this youngster, and he's an 18-year-old. He's playing as a midfielder at what we call the team plays for is Rosenborg PK, and everyone is like he's the next Odegaard, and I tell you, he's really doing wonders in his career. And when you look at his stats, they're really very eye-catching, and that's why he's one of those players that everyone is obviously looking at. Man United, by the way, was close to convincing this player to come in. You understand? But we later saw a picture of him at the stadium of Ajax, and we are like, he has gone ahead to agree a deal with Ajax. But now, looks like Arsenal have gone ahead to intervene, and the player is keen to join the side of Arsenal. And I tell you what, no one is obviously going to stop him from obviously getting to where he wants to be as a player. So his profiles are really great, and he's one of those players that you would want to see play for your team at the age of 18. If he's extraordinary like this, and very many big teams are really looking in for him, it just sends you a message that he's one of a kind, that a team like Arsenal needs to obviously have with him all the time. Now, the story reads from David Austin: young Rosenborg BK midfielder Severe Nypan is keen to join Arsenal. That's a story that came in through from the man himself, known as David Austin. And when David Austin speaks, he speaks from a well-informed point of view in there. Then we got another story. Why are they just loading, We got another story coming in through from Ryan Taylor Sport that Arsenal are close to finding out whether they've managed to win the race of wonder kid Sven Nypan from Rosenborg BK. So when he talks of the race, very many clubs are interested in this guy. Clubs like Man United, Chelsea, Man City, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, very many clubs are really interested in this youngster, and it shows you that he's really talented, because it doesn't come as a myth. It doesn't come from nowhere for teams like Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Man City, Barcelona to be interested in you at the age of 18. That means there is a special character in you. Now, this is the biggest story that obviously happened I think like 2 days back, and it comes in from TV Sport, and they told us that Rosenberg Big Hair want to sort the future of Severin Nypan very shortly, with the players' camp aiming to finalize within weeks. Although no formal offers are yet on the table, both Man United, both Arsenal and Man City are in the race. Rosenberg valuing Nypan at around 10 million euros. Now, the player is valued at 10 million euros, and the fact that the big question is he worth 10 million euros? I tell you, he is, because if you've seen how he plays, he's really an exciting player. And when he's playing for Rosenberg, you very much know that he's playing in one of the top teams in Norway. And let's see what his stats read like this season. This season, he has played 28 games in the league, and he has scored 8 goals and he has 7 assists. This is the guy, and he's 1.82 meters tall, and I tell you what, he's really very, very exciting, and he's one of those players that you have to look at. And one of the things we know about him, he's really a central attacking midfielder, right? And he plays with both foots. His contract expires in 2026, 31st December. That means that they have to see to it that they sell this player now to get out the money they want from him, because if he fails to renew his contract, I tell you, it's going to be hard for them to obviously get that 10 million euros from the player. You understand? So, as it stands, the player is really eager to come to join Arsenal. And I know there is an effect of a player known as there is an effect of a player known as Martin Odegaard, because Martin Odegaard is Norwegian and this player is Norwegian, and I think Odegaard it's not even all about thinking. Odegaard is on the neck of the lad that, please don't ever go anywhere. Come to Arsenal, you're obviously going to enjoy. And I tell you, Arsenal has created room for youngsters to thrive this season, and we've seen 2 of those, that is Ethan Nwaneri and Lewis Kelly, come up and obviously do the needful. It was the point that I addressed in the summer that Arsenal will lose more stars like they lost Walters, Koza Dubry, and Chido Obi Martins if at all they don't start showing these youngsters in the academy that there is a direct path from the academy to the first team. And this season, Arteta has done it well. And for Ethan Nwaneri, it's really bad for him because he got injured. But if he has been here, he would have gone ahead to enjoy the spell where Bukayo Saka would have been away. But for Lewis Kelly, it looks like he's the preferred first choice left back of Mikel Arteta after Ricardo Carafiori. But this youngster is one of those that Arsenal are really eyeing at. And I tell you, I love him for a reason that he's a versatile player. He can play as a false number 9. He can play wide. He can play centrally. Provided it's an attacking position, he'll get you exactly what you want. His skill set is immense. I tell you, that's why Man City is really wanting to sign the player. When you look at how Man City are really signing in players, they are bringing players who are really 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, because they know to it that they are building a new city. You know, they are phasing out these other players and they're bringing in new ones who are really young. When you look at Kusanov is 20, Victor Reis I think is 21, Memosh is also around, is in his early 20s. Now, that's why they're really eyeing this youngster, because they know to it that they cannot get, it's going to be hard for them to get Jamal Musiala during the summer transfer window. And all they can do is to see to it that they get in a player of quality, of Nypan, to see to it that he comes in at the club of Man City to obviously find himself into better books, of fitting into the squad and the system of Pep Guardiola. And Pep Guardiola likes players like this, because we saw how he trusted Messi with his career at Barcelona. A Messi who was, 18, 19, you understand, by then, 2008, was ranked highly ahead of Thierry Henry, Ronaldinho, and Samuel Eto'o. All those 3 players are really proven players, I can tell you. And I think record-wise, talent-wise, They are really undoubted and they are proven players, and especially Ronaldinho, who was one of the best players in the world by then, and he will still stay into the debate of who the GOAT of this generation is because of what he did in the game of football. The only box that he failed to tick was the longevity. But if he had been here for like 15 years, I tell you, Messi and Ronaldo would have gone ahead, obviously, have a third player into their debate, and people would be like, of Ronaldinho, and Messi, who is the GOAT of all time. But he's out of that because of that limited time he played football in Europe, because you can look at him when he signed for Barcelona, and I think he played like 4 solid seasons there. You get 4 solid seasons, right? I think he joined them and he played some few seasons. But if he had kept himself in shape and not arriving on training when he's drunk, I tell you, Pep would have wanted to be having one of the deadliest teams. Imagine him having Ronaldinho at his prime and Lionel Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, Do you know what would have gone ahead obviously happen to the opponents, It would have gone ahead to be one of the deadliest sides in world football. So, this guy can be convinced by Pep also, because this deal is not yet done. And Rosenberg wants this deal done and dusted immediately. And when you look at the side of Pep Guardiola, he can use how he built Messi, that theme and that theory, and he sends it to the player that I can turn you into a Messi. I can turn you into one of the best players in the world, and I trust in young stars. I can bring you here and you can shine. I know you can replace Kevin De Bruyne immediately, because when you look at the player that's going to replace Kevin De Bruyne, it's really going to be hard for Man City to hunt for, because those that are available, they're really known for sale. So that is very Nypan, keen to join Arsenal, as reported by David Austin. So it's now up to Arsenal to obviously call for those £10 million and obviously see to it that they're obviously getting this youngster, 18 years old. I think he's ready. He's ready to obviously come up and really put in a shift at the club of Arsenal to see to it that all goes on well as planned. So that is Nypan's story for you, and let's get to City, because I've gone ahead to bring you this story. Now let's go to Kusanov. He signed for Arsenal from RC Lens. From RC Lens. Is it Lens? I think it's Lens from France. And he went ahead, obviously, put in some good money. Close to 40 million euros was spent on bringing this player. He passed the medical. After passing the medical, what followed next was unveiling him. First player to be unveiled at Man City, though we know to it that 2 more unveilings are really coming in through. Mamesh and Victor Reis are really gonna be coming up immediately. Now, this is what caught my eye, Everything he said caught my eye because of where he comes in from, the country, and being the first Uzbekistan player to come and play into the Premier League. It has gone ahead to catch my eye, and I was like, I need to share this with my viewers of Rokani Media Football in here. Now, Kusanov has said, I'm really happy to join this team. I have come here to develop and grow and to win trophies with Man City. This is one of the major teams in football, and the coach is among the best. That's why I'm here. Obviously, no one doubts. Right now, Man City is among the best teams in the world, and he says he's here to get developed. And no one doubts Pep Guardiola when it comes, obviously, developing youngsters, because this has been part of his CV, and it has gone ahead to obviously work well in everywhere he has gone ahead to be. So Pep is here to develop and grow Khusanov, and he has talked about winning trophies. And by the way, when you talk about winning trophies, there is no way you can exclude a team like Man City, because this is what they've been doing season in, season out. I tell you, Man City has been doing this season in, season out to obviously groom and bring in youngsters. That's what, it's their breakfast, because they do it on a daily, and they've gone ahead obviously put in a very huge shift into their mix. So that is the man known as Kusanov. And also added, this is one of the major teams in football, and the coach is among the best. That's why I'm here. Obviously, when you are told that this manager is one of the best in the world, if you doubt it, then football is not meant for you. We can all agree that this is the guy who is here to stay. And I tell you what, he is one of the best that the world has ever gone here to see. By the way, he's one of the greatest, if I'm not mistaken. He's one of the greatest of all time. I think him, Alex Ferguson, Ancelotti are into the same clique, you know, of greatness in as far as managing teams are really concerned. So this player is really excited. Now, this is what really got me exciting, you know. He said that this is not just for me, but for Uzbekistan, the first Uzbek in the EPL or in the Premier League. But I'm sure this is only the beginning. More Uzbek players will come and play in the EPL. There is growing interest in football in Uzbekistan. Now, I back him 100% for what he's going to hit to say, because we all know to it that when some person comes in here, or when any player comes in from the Premier League and he shines, everyone will be looking at that player. You understand? Everyone will be looking at that player and they'll be like, let's go to his country. Maybe there are very handy players down there, but it depends on how Kusanov is going to shine. If at all he shines, then more Uzbek players are going to come up to play into the Premier League, you know? Like, for example, when you look at Nigeria, those first Nigerian players to bless the Premier League, Nwankwo Kanu, JJ Okocha, you can talk about Babayaro, there was Babangida, you know? Those players represented to the fullest, and they represented their country very well. That's why you can see other Nigerians into the Premier League a lot. Players from Cameroon, you know, we had Samuel Eto'o came there represented. There was Mark Vivian Foy, who died but was playing at Man City in the midfield. Then there was Lauren Meyer, who played for Arsenal as a right back. Then there was this other guy, I've forgotten his name, who used to play as a right back at Chelsea when Mourinho was there. I've forgotten his name. But you can also talk about Michael Essien, you know. And I think before Didier Drogba came into the Premier League, had we seen any Ivorian play in the Premier League? But when he came and played in the Premier League and hit the ground running, scored very many goals, we've seen very many Ivorians coming into play, you know. I think Kolo Toure came in first. At Arsenal as an Ivorian, played very well. Then Didier Drogba came in through. Javinho came in through. The Pepes came in through, and very many others, you know, Ivorians who play for other teams came up and represented. What was his name? This other guy that they signed from the Dutch league and they signed him from the Bundesliga and brought him to Chelsea, you know. I've forgotten his name, but very many players. So if he wants more players from Uzbekistan to obviously come in through and really play a part into what we call the Uzbekistan revolution in the Premier League, he has to really perform very well and see to it that agents will obviously go there and really fetch in for more players. Then he went ahead, obviously said, this is the last one that really came in through. He said, I started professional football in Belarus with shirt number 45. That's why I decided to choose the same number at Man City. So he has given us the reasons why he's putting on that shirt number. But he talked about if at all more Uzbekistan players flock into the Premier League, then they'll have, all their chances will increase to obviously go and play into the World Cup. And looks like it's the dream down there to go ahead and really play in the World Cup. But every even a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, and that's what Kusanov is going to hate to do. And he's like sending a message to the younger stars at their home in Uzbekistan that it's possible. At 20 years, I'm playing for Man City, and you can be the next person, you can be the next Kusanov playing for either Man United, Arsenal, and so on and so forth, because now the world is really going to be watching you, and agents are really going to be flocking that side to look for more players like him. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. I'm calling in for your reactions into the comment section about Severin Nypan keen to join Arsenal, and if at all he's keen, then you have to come up and obviously tell me, do you think he's one of those signings Arsenal should be making right now? All that and more into the comment section below. Rokani David remains my name. I'm out. See you later. But don't forget calling Muno Gadgets for you need a brand new phone and a brand new laptop, or when you need a used phone and a used laptop. All else, you might be in need of one thing called an affordable smartwatch. Call them on that number, +256 70 99 88 665. You'll thank me later. First video of the day, we out.